What up, crypto fam? It's Phantom back with another look at the market. It's Wednesday, March 30th, 2022. Bitcoin is chilling at 47K region. It's been here for a good portion of the past few days. We've been between 47 and 48K. And Bitcoin's just kind of consolidating. It's vibing sideways, which is great news for another big move. I'm hoping it's a bigger move to the upside, but we may test the downside, the support to the lower side before we make our next continuation upward. That said, this is still healthy consolidation levels in my opinion. I still think we're early in this momentum shift to the upside. We've been having a good week. The sideways movement has been happening even though volume's up over the past week. So you can see that we're almost at halfway of last week's volume, and we still have a full 4 days left before the close, and we've moved very little. That means there's quite a bit of buying and selling pressure at this level, which is expected because we're coming up right on large resistance levels, right? So this is still a healthy move to the upside. In my opinion, I'm even okay with us coming back down and testing this new support region in the 42 to 44K region. I think that would be more than fine, assuming that Bitcoin gets bought up at that level and continues its trend to the upside. I think this is still a very bullish looking Bitcoin chart, in my opinion. As far as the fear and greed index, we've been pretty much sideways on that too. That's at 52. We're back into neutral territory. We've left fear, or I've left greed. I'm thinking that if we continue to move sideways, we may continue slipping in the fear and greed index towards a more fearful territory, because history has shown at these consolidations, at least for the past few months when we're not in full bull mode, that the consolidation leads to a rip to the downside, and I think that has a lot of people fearful. So we may see this continue to slip, which is a good thing, right? The community is wrong a lot when it comes to its prediction of Bitcoin's prices. So I see that as a bullish sentiment. As far as altcoins, we mentioned on the channel yesterday, I brought up Compound was getting some volume yesterday, a heavy day of volume, and we did for sure move to the upside once we broke through here. We had a finished the day with a huge volume day, so I did make an entry, made about 10% swing trade, closed it out. I'm happy at this level. I think we still have continuation up to the 190,000 or $190 mark, but I'm happy closing out these trades with Bitcoin and sideways pattern, because you can always reposition. You can always get back in for another position to the upside once you receive more confirmation that the bullish sentiment will continue. As far as coins that I'll be watching, it's not the most popular token, but it's getting an increase in traffic, which has me interested, and that's IOTA. IOTA has almost half of yesterday's volume, and we're only 3 hours into the candle for the day, so I'll be putting this on a watch list. I don't see any real resistance levels until about the dollar region, so this can be another 10% swing. So I'll be taking a close look at that. I don't think there's a ton of steam in IOTA right now until the bull market is fully back, but it's definitely one that I'll be keeping my eye on. The rest of the altcoins are doing well. Juul's up 22%. Zilliqa is just it's crushing it. It's up 500% over the week, right? Like, this getting into something like this now is dangerous because it's going to be so volatile. There's going to be such large swings up and down that I'm happy to, to call this a miss. That, I own Zilliqa, and I bought it back in 2018, I believe, so I'm doing very well in my position. That said, I'm not interested in buying at these levels when it's up 500% in a week. So I'm interested to see what will continue. If this trend will continue it's due for a correction, for sure. But overall, I think Bitcoin looks healthy at this level. I'm still on the stance that I think we are due for a cooling off period. I hope that cooling off is just this sideways consolidation continuing. My fear is, since we are getting increases in volumes and we're not really making any movement to the upside, that there's just a ton of buying and selling pressure, so that makes me a little bit wary. So I am still in the same position where I'm kind of hands off of altcoins, except for very small positions that I'm mentioning on the channel for these altcoins that are receiving some volume. And that's with super tight top stop losses and not much entry, just until Bitcoin makes a more decisive decision and decides to break through this larger resistance area. As far as news articles for the day, I found a couple of cool articles. Compound, apparently that volume came from this announcement that the Compound has proposed eliminating protocol rewards due to problematic effects. Community members appeared optimistic about the new network update. Compound could reach $224 if it breaks the 152 resistance level. I don't agree with the 224. I think that's a high estimate. Compounds reached crucial resistance levels, which we talked about on this channel before this article was printed, and Compound could break out after the protocol upgrade. Compound has seen its price surge by more than 24% over the past 12 hours after announcing a proposal to reduce protocol rewards. The DeFi startup appears to have realized its reward distribution program has a problematic effect on Compound's price. Compound maintains that most Compound rewards are instantly sold off, creating a great disservice for existing users and token holders. Instead, these tokens should be used to grow the protocol. For this reason, Compound created a reward adjustment proposal that aims to start a new rewards program for the sole purpose of kickstarting new markets. The goal is to cut existing rewards by 50% and eventually end compound farming. So I think this is bullish overall. That this is a company growing based off of what it's learned off of the data that it's received. It's something that's been in the game for some time. I mean, Compound went up to, I think, $700 the last bull run that we had last year. So, I can see it easily achieving that again in another bull market. One of my key things that I've learned is to kind of see what did really well in the last bull cycle and put my investments behind those projects, because likely the history will repeat itself for many of those coins, even if it doesn't for all of them. If five out of 7 or something like that do return big gains, then it's a great altcoin season. It's a great bull run for as far as profits are concerned. And the important part is to take profits along the way up. Don't get greedy. The other news article I found interesting: crypto miners in Texas need approval to energize a new grid hurdle. Bloomberg announced that Texas has started requiring new large-scale cryptocurrency miners to seek permission to connect to the state's power grid in anticipation of a flood of requests expected to drive up electricity demand. The Electric Reliability Council of Texas is requiring utilities to submit studies on the impact of that miners and other large users tapping the grid before they get quote-unquote approval to energize. According to March 25th notice from the state's main grid operator, members voted on Wednesday to form a task force to hash out details of an interim plan that's ultimately meant to protect the grid from being overwhelmed. So I'm hoping a lot of Bitcoin miners are trying to move towards green energy, and that would put a halt on things like this. Obviously, we'd still have to use electricity as a backup mechanism, but we really wouldn't be flooding the electrical grids if we are using more sustainable energy resources. So I think with the direction that a lot of Bitcoin miners are going, a lot of them are wanting to go green, just not only for the to reduce the dependency on the grid, but also for the cost efficiency, right? Paying for electricity in today's day and age is absolutely outrageous. So if Mother Nature provides you with the resources that you need to create that electricity, it pays for itself. So a lot of miners are going in that direction, and I'm hoping that a lot of Texas does the same. The last article that I have, I think, is one of the more bullish ones because of what it leads towards. MetaMask allows iPhone users to buy crypto with Apple Pay. On March 25th, MetaMask announced a raft of updates in its mobile version. The most significant was the Apple Pay integration. The catch is that Apple does not directly support crypto payments through its own platform, so it has to be done through Wire, which supports crypto and integrates with Apple Pay. Users can now also buy crypto with debit or credit cards, eliminating the need to send Ethereum to the app in advance. Apple Pay users can deposit a daily maximum of $400 to the wallet using their Visa or MasterCards and the Wire API. Really great news. I did see another mention today. It's just a thought that people are putting out there, but there was a screenshot that went kind of viral. It showed someone from Apple wearing an Apple hat giving the finger to a Chase Bank ATM. And a lot of people are thinking it's foreshadowing of Apple allowing this itself so that you can use Apple Pay to purchase Bitcoin without an intermediary. So, I expect this year that Apple will, in its new iOS update, will have some type of cryptocurrency wallet integration, and that it will allow you to sell cryptocurrencies directly through, a local Apple product and Apple application. Is my guess is where we're going. I know Tim Cook has talked that he's invested in Bitcoin, that he's very interested in the cryptocurrency space, the blockchain space. And that picture today just, kind of affirmed my thoughts and beliefs. I think that's the direction that we're moving. And I fully expect, when Apple does release its new phones this year, new iOS update, that we see some cryptocurrency updates being integrated with Apple. It'll obviously be huge news for the cryptocurrency space, but I think it's also big news for Apple too, starting to recognize the demand for this new technology. And obviously, Apple has a great history of making very easy to use applications. And I think that's critical when you're talking about the cryptocurrency space. Coinbase does well because their application is very easy to use, right? Binance is one of the most used exchanges in the world, but it's not as easy as Coinbase. That's why Coinbase tends to be the on-ramp for a lot of people just getting started. I think Apple would have a really intelligent way of creating an interface that would make it very easy to onboard new people to the cryptocurrency space. And I see that as a huge benefit for cryptocurrency as a whole. So stay tuned. I'll for sure keep my ear to the ground of more news that I see regarding Apple taking or being able to purchase Bitcoin through Apple products directly instead of through the MetaMask through Wire. Having a direct Apple Pay for Bitcoin in a local wallet on the iPhone would be a game changer for a lot of people. So super excited about that. Those are the news articles that I found for the day. Again, just wrapping up. I think Bitcoin's looking healthy at this level. We'll pull back up the weekly chart. We're just coming up on this resistance, and I think there's a lot of decisions that need to be made at this level. I predicted last week, at the end of last week, beginning of this week, that I think the end of this week we may see some pullback. It may hold off for another week if history proves itself. It may wait for the Bitcoin Miami conference to nuke back down to the support level. So we may just vibe for another week until that conference kicks off, and then I think we may see a pullback. I'm hoping our support levels hold strong, but I think it may be another week before we see that pullback. Which pullbacks are healthy, right? You want the market to cool off. You want people to take profits. You want new money to see that people are making profitable trades and new money coming in, and then people are reloading their bags. So sweeps are healthy as long as they're bought back up. So I'll close with that. I really appreciate everybody that's been watching the videos. If you wouldn't mind following, subscribing, I would have greatly appreciated it. I enjoy making the content. It lets me know that the content is being viewed, is being appreciated, is helpful to some. So I'm going to continue down this path. Let me know if you want to see any changes to the content that I've been making, if you'd rather more news focus or more altcoin focus. I'd be happy to switch things up and try some new things. But right now I'm letting Bitcoin vibe sideways, consolidate, and I'm not in any positions right now. I may dump a small position into IOTA just to see where it goes, since this volume is high on the daily, and just set some type stop losses. Obviously not financial advice, but that may be what I do. Just dump some in here and take it out at 90, 98, 99 cents, 10% swing trade, done, call it. So that's likely what I will be looking at for the rest of the night. Until then, I hope you have an amazing rest of your Wednesday. I hope you have an even better Thursday, and I'll catch you in the next video. Till then, peace.